photography for me has been, and I hope continues to be, like a bit of an escape from expectation and planning and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff. It's
yeah.
like my chance to be in the moment, be present. Like I think when you're thinking about other things, you miss what's right in front of you.
Tommy Williams, welcome to the Salt Sessions. Thanks so much for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me, mate.
No
Pleasure.
worries, no worries. Well, I guess just to start off with, can you just give us a little bit of a background of yourself, where you're from, and I guess ultimately how you got a camera in your hand and started taking photos of the ocean?
Yeah, well, I'm actually from suburban Melbourne, eastern suburbs, so nowhere near the beach at all. But always grew up coming down to Phillip Island when I was younger and that, and yeah, sort of just fell in love with the water and the surf and just the ever-changing conditions and that. Eventually moved down here, and didn't actually pick up a camera or even really think about taking photos until I was about 21.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm only 25 now, so
Wow.
it's been a fun few years, and
Yeah.
just how it's all worked out. But yeah,
Yeah.
lucky to be where I am and doing what I'm doing.
So how did that all start? Like you a surfer yourself?
Uh, Somewhat. I wouldn't
Yep.
call myself a surfer, but I
Yep.
just love the ocean, really.
Yeah.
I grew up lifeguarding actually down here, and
Okay. Yep.
sort of just got into all things water that way. Yeah, surfing and swimming and bodyboarding and
Yeah.
boating, all that sort of stuff, and just sort of fell in love with everything, not
Yeah.
just surfing. But yeah, I kind of knew that I wasn't a great surfer, but I still
Mm-hmm.
loved being a part of
Yep.
it,
Yep.
and being in the water when it's big and scary and all that sort of stuff. And
Yep.
I guess sort of taking photos is kind of the next best thing for me, like getting to be
Yeah.
amongst it, feeling the energy of the ocean. So it kind of progressed that way, I think.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm the same, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't surf to save my life, but I grew up bodyboarding, so I guess
yeah,
it's the same thing. Had a love for the ocean, but yeah, now I think it actually helps with ocean photography because now whenever I like see surf reports, I'm just like frothing to go and take photos rather than
yeah.
rather than
Oh,
going for a surf.
100%.
So yeah,
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 100%.
yeah. So how did if it's only been sort of 4 years, how did you like were you taking other photos beforehand? How did the photography start? And then I guess when you did start taking photos, was there a moment when you were taking photos of the ocean or surfing? And was there like a moment, a session, a photograph or something that made you just go, yeah, I love this and this is what I want to pursue?
Yeah, is that yeah, actually kind of funny. I got a younger brother who is, I'd say he's way more creative than me. And I remember when we were super young, he always used to like look around for money, like when we were going to the shops and stuff. And I remember he found $50 one day. I was like pretty jealous, and he bought a camera with it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like what a funny thing to buy. Like none of us had ever really had any background with anything, mum,
Yeah.
dad, never really any interest. And yeah, that kind of got me thinking. And then, yeah, a few years later, yeah, I realized that I wasn't any good at surfing, but I still wanted to be a part of it. So that's kind of why I just wanted to document the summers that we had down at the beach. And all my friends were, I got some good friends that are good surfers and stuff. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to document them and still be a part of it all. So that's kind of what made me buy a camera initially. I actually bought one. I didn't even know how to turn it on. So I
Yeah.
got my brother to teach me how to turn it on, and we've kind of just gone from there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess
Unreal. Yeah.
that's what made it
And
happen.
was that just, were you just shooting from land originally or did you have a housing straight away or?
No, initially just from land.
Yeah.
It wasn't long before I bought a housing. Yeah, I
Yep.
kind of felt like I was only getting half the
Yep.
experience shooting from land. So yeah, I bought a
Sure.
housing not long after that. At the time, it was obviously a big investment, like big
Mm.
financial investment when you're not making any money off it. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't, yeah, don't look back at all.
Yeah. And was there something early on, like a session or a photo or anything that kind of made you, I don't know, I guess, realize that you could do it or realize that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I actually remember the first time I swam the housing out. I
Mhm.
was just so frothing to use it, and got down to the beach, and the waves were like kind of bad, and it was really dark, like just a real stormy sort of afternoon. And I remember like maybe halfway through the swim, the sun like kind of just beamed through a little bit of the dark clouds, and the whole ocean just lit up like that metallic blue that we all love to
Yeah. Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember how excited I was to get back home and look at the photos.
Mm.
And yeah, that was kind of like that feeling that you try and chase as a photographer, or just anyone really. It's just like
Yeah.
that magic light. And yeah, I guess that was probably the one thing where I got that initial feeling that I wanted to keep chasing. And yeah, it kind of just happened
Yeah.
like naturally after that. Yeah, I still chase that feeling. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And are you shooting like often?
Um, I go through phases. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm sort of in a bit of a lull right now.
Hmm.
I've been shooting so hard all year and working so
Yep.
hard. So kind of come back home and just having a little break from it all. I think that's good. Like
Mm,
just having a bit of a time away to re-energize yourself and that. But
definitely.
kind of at the point now where I'm pretty keen to get back into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty the surf's been really bad where I am at the moment on Phillip Island. So
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
waiting for that next
Yeah.
day
Wait
where
for
it's
it. Yeah. Yeah.
let's
For
go.
sure.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome. So with your like with your style of photography, so this is sort of like that's how you got into it. But like now, I guess if I look at all of your images, like you've got a really, I guess, you style. Like I can kind of like look through all the photos, and then there's a sort of like uniformity to them. But it's like a really nice contrast, like really crisp photos, like a real nice use of like deep blacks, that kind of thing. So is that something that you've developed through just trial and error over time? Was there any inspiration behind that? Like how did that maybe come about?
Yeah, I think definitely initially when you start out, like you're looking up to people that you see on Instagram and in the magazines and stuff, and
Yep.
I think naturally everybody tries to kind of emulate what they see
Hmm.
from like who they're inspired by. So that's probably initially how it started. And then once the ball kind of started rolling, it was like I really want to like try and figure myself out, like what style I want to produce. And
Yep.
yeah, I think yeah, there's obviously like just trial and error and experimenting new things and stuff. I
Mhm.
guess technically, the camera does a good job of making
Yeah.
things crisp and that, but like, yeah, no, I just like producing what I like to see. So
Yep.
yeah, I don't try and produce an image for the masses or what other
Hmm.
people think they might like to see. I just like showing other people what I see through my own eyes. So
Yeah, for sure.
I guess that's just how my style has evolved. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Do you have like anything in mind, like when you're shooting? Because for me personally, I generally sort of, when I'm like looking through the frame, I'm generally thinking about it as like picturing it on like a wall, as opposed to maybe like a magazine type shot. So like I tend to shoot things like a little bit wider, try and look for a bit of landscape, that kind of thing. Do you have any kind of like mindset around like maybe where the images will end up after you shoot them?
Yeah, I do. I think every time I go out, I try and shoot for print, whether that's like
Yep.
wall, magazine, anything. So yeah, I've kind of like I'm in this bit of thing at the moment where I like the pulled back stuff. Yeah,
Cool.
just like been seeing some images and stuff of some of the
Yep.
people that inspire me. I'm like, yeah, that I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
Like for example, last year I just had this thing about shooting really tight.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like right now I'm probably a little bit balanced with it. Like I
Hmm.
just yeah might go out and go, yeah, this is a good day to shoot pull
Yeah.
back, or this is a good day to shoot tight. So
Yep.
yeah, I'll just mix it up.
For
Yeah,
sure. That's good, probably too, like you said about having like sometimes a bit of time away because you can get in the mode of shooting a particular way. And sometimes if you can take a step back, have a bit of a breather, maybe assess some of your work from the last year or something, you can kind of like, get a new creative spark or
for
something.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually struggle to like look at my images immediately after I take them and decide
Okay.
what I like. And
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like I need to pull back, look at them with fresh eyes a few weeks or a couple months later and go, yeah, I think I like this one instead of that one.
Yep, for
You just
sure. For sure.
yeah.
So on that then, even though you're looking at them like a bit later, so say you have a really good session, like the conditions are all good, your light's good, like you just have one of those sessions, you might be out there, take 500 photos or whatever, and then you are looking through them. Like, what's that thing that you're looking for? Like, what's the elements? What for you in like the photo? That's the thing that's going to make you pick that out and maybe put it in your print store or
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I reckon number one for me is like, how is it going to make the viewer feel? Like, is it going to
Mhm.
bring about any emotion in the viewer? Does it tell a story?
Mhm.
And does it like capture your eye? Like, and we're in this like thing at the moment where we're just scrolling past things and like looking past things, but like,
Yeah.
what's the image that's going to make you double look, like look back
Yep.
and go, oh wow, like I feel like I'm in that myself. So that's
Yeah.
for me. And I think with that, I need to look at it with fresh eyes because I need to come back and go, oh, I remember that. That photo that I took tells the story of the day, or that's now making me feel the same as what I did when I took it a month ago. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking for those three things. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So you're thinking about like composition and that style of stuff when
Yeah,
you, yeah.
yeah, for sure. I reckon, yeah, composition's probably the thing that I'm trying to get better at, trying
Uh-huh.
to improve that.
Mhm.
I sort of look at like Rambo Estrada
Yeah.
as a guy that I look up to, and I
Yeah,
reckon his
definitely.
composition is
Yes.
insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been looking at his stuff a lot lately and just thinking, wow, yeah, I got a long way to go. But
Yeah,
uh,
no, he's up there in my
yeah,
my top couple of favorite photographers as well. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Based on that, what you're looking for in a shot, like how often are you, I guess, envisaging something like before you go out? Like, is it something that you ever get shots in mind and you're like, this is something like that I know I want to get, or is a lot of the time it's just using your own artistic eye to react to circumstances when they're there?
Yeah. No, I know a lot of photographers picture the shots that they want to capture, but
Hmm.
I actually think I'm the opposite. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Yep.
I don't like setting an expectation on the session or an
Hmm.
expectation on myself. Um, I think photography for me has been, and I hope continues to be, like a bit of an escape from expectation and planning and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
like my chance to be in the moment, be present. Like I think when you're thinking about other things, you miss what's right in front of you. So yeah, I always just try and go out with a clear head. Gives me a chance to not think about anything but what's right in front of me, and sort of just anticipating the moment before it happens. I think
Yep.
capturing like the moment before the moment is pretty powerful. So
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that if you're thinking about other things or you've got
Yep.
shots in mind. So that's how I go about it. Yeah.
100%. Cool. And so what's your like photography situation at the moment? Like you're full-time photographer, you're doing commercial work and surf work and
Yeah. Full time photographer. Yeah, a bit of a mix. I'm kind of doing it all. Yeah, I sort of just take what comes to me, like to a point. Yeah, I like sort of aligning my career with what I want to shoot. And
yep.
if a job comes my way that I don't really believe in, or I don't feel like I can tell a story, like I might look elsewhere. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, doing a few weddings here and there, and
Yep.
um, yeah, some commercial stuff. The surf stuff where I am in Phillip Island at the moment, there's not heaps of money in it. There's
Yep.
there's not like the big industries down here. So
Mm-hmm.
um, but it's good. It kind of gives me a chance to go surfing myself. But
Yeah. Yeah. For
yeah,
sure.
now full time with it, and yeah, very lucky, very
Yeah,
lucky.
cool. So there's a picture on your Instagram of Kelly Slater in a like
Yeah,
that looked like a bit of a campaign. So can you give us a bit of story about that?
yeah, that was a funny one. I got an email from like this media agency from London or New York or wherever, and I kind of thought it was junk mail initially.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it turned out to be for the watch company Breitling,
Yeah,
and they
wow.
were doing a campaign shoot for a new product, and they wanted me as the water photographer for the day.
Yeah.
So wow,
Cool.
this is big time. Like I'd never really done like a big shoot like that before, and
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to expect, obviously. But
Mm.
yeah, once I got there, and it looked like a movie set. There was
Wow.
hundreds of people there, and Kelly had his own RV, and there was
Yeah.
food and everything. And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
it was really interesting. It was eye opening, but it was amazing to share the water with Kelly and get to
Yeah.
talk to her. And Steph Gilmore was there as well, and she's
Yeah.
just a
Nice.
legend. And
Wow.
yeah, it was really inspiring just to be around so many other like amazing, talented
Mm.
people in the industry, and see that other side of it as
Yeah.
well, like the big product stuff, the big business stuff with the big money. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
100%.
inspiring. I was frothing on it. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the like? Were you was there like a sort of strict brief? Were you given sort of any creative freedom? How'd that work?
Yeah, there was definitely like a shot list they wanted and a brief,
Mm-hmm.
but in saying that, they also gave me the creative freedom to go out and just shoot what I saw. I kind of said like shooting water can be tricky like that.
Mm.
You know, you can't always be in the right spot. When you're surfing
Yeah. Yeah.
a 300-meter right hand point break, like
Yeah.
you got to pick spots, and hopefully it happens in front of you and whatnot. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. I got to be creative with it, and yeah, I was happy with the output.
Yeah. Yeah. That's unreal. Yeah. And I guess that's kind of like you combining your surf and your commercial stuff. Like that's sort of the dream, isn't
Yeah,
it? When you when you do a bit of both.
massively. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Especially down here. Like there's none of that down here. So for that to come, and I didn't have to travel far for it, it was
Yeah.
a dream.
Yeah, awesome. Now, like you're only 25, but like with this getting into this world and being like a full-time photographer, like did you do anything beforehand? And I guess where I'm leading the question is like has there been any challenges in like stepping into like this type of career? Because I guess it's not the normal career path for a lot of people to go and be a photographer. It's a little bit more, risky and challenging at times. So like have you had any, what's your experience been like going into that
Yeah,
path?
it's obviously with its like got its challenges, but
Mm.
I think I think that's kind of the beauty of it is just being out by yourself, running it myself, is figuring it out and
Mhm.
learning. And so, yeah, all challenges are good challenges, I think, if you learn something from it and look at it that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, before I sort of turned it into full time, I kind of worked a few different jobs. Like I said, I lifeguarded for a number of years and I worked at a school camp. Throughout COVID, I worked at a surf shop
Yep.
down in Phillip Island, which was, I was lucky to have work during that period of time. And yeah, I've always had dreams of being a firefighter as well. So
Yep.
yeah, I had a lot of different things bounce around, but honestly, just the photography just sort of it just happened. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I've always wanted to travel and
Hmm.
see the world and all
Yep.
that. So yeah, photography is probably my best chance at doing that, which,
Yeah.
so far it's working out. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
keep chasing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a nice little segue into the next thing I want to chat to you about was with the last year in Indo, because that's basically like I really discovered your work in the last 6 months or so through one of the joys of Instagram is we get to
Yeah.
like find people like in that way, and probably just through searching general stuff over there, like I started finding your work, and yeah. So can you tell us about your time over there? Like, what did you do? Was there any work involved? Was it just traveling?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, um, it all, yeah, like I said, like everything, it just come about. I got offered a job at a surf resort in the Mentawais at
Ah,
Pit Stop
okay.
Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so um, yeah, I took off in at the start of June, and I worked there for 5 months as a photographer and a surf guide. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was an amazing experience. Yeah, just
Yeah.
every day it was busy. Work was busy, shooting every day, but oh, it was incredible. An amazing part of the world, and worked with obviously the resort I was staying at, Pitch Stop
Mm.
Hill, just so friendly and welcoming, and it felt like
Yeah.
home, and everyone felt like family. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's incredible. I was very lucky. Yeah.
That's unreal. So you're based there most of the time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I was in Indonesia for 5 months. I was working at Pit Stop Hill for four of
Yep.
that, and
Yep.
that month off, I had a bit of a break in between. I was thinking about coming home and just
Mm.
hanging out with my mates over the winter, but I decided no, I want to go see some Indonesia. So I
Yep.
did did a little bit in Bali, and then kind of got over the crowds there,
Yeah.
and went down to Lombok, and then went to Sumbawa.
Yeah.
Um, Sort of bounced around those three islands for a month, and
Yeah.
yeah, met some really cool people, and
Yeah.
yeah, kind of tried to immerse myself in the culture a little bit,
Yeah.
and talk to the locals and learn the language and eat the food and
Yep.
waves. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
fun.
awesome. So you were like shooting for the resort. So was that for the like the guests so they could get photos of themselves?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Guests would come for 10 days at a time, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd hang out with them every day, every session, shoot them.
Yep.
Couple of slideshows during the week. We'd all sit around and have a laugh, and no,
Yeah.
it was amazing. Yeah, it's good to have people. I mean, I wasn't there before COVID, but everyone
Mm.
was just so happy to be traveling again and
Yeah.
be back in Indonesia and back in the Mentawais. So it
Yeah.
was a really cool vibe, and yeah,
Yep.
loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's unreal. And so was there any other photographers there? Is it just you? And like, how did that? Do people are people buying packages beforehand, or is there anything like are people going through the photos like afterwards and saying, I want these ones?
Yeah, no, at the time, there's always only one photographer at the camp at
Okay.
a time, but there's
Hmm.
two other guys that we sort of share the season around,
Yep.
just
Yep.
where we can and that.
Mm.
But yeah, I was lucky to get a big stint this year. But yeah, guests, they they don't have to commit to buying a package at the very start of the camp, so you kind of
Yeah.
shoot all week in the hope that they will. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's, yeah, I was just very lucky this year that a lot of people were keen, and yeah, it was definitely worthwhile for me.
Yeah.
but yeah, there's always that little concern. You work so hard, and then you might get to the end of the week, and none of them might buy, and you go, oh well, I should have just surfed all week. But
Yeah. Yeah. So is that turnaround then pretty quick? You've got to basically like get the stuff ready pretty quickly for
yeah,
the guests?
yeah, it is pretty quick. Yeah, where I was staying, the internet's pretty limited, so you can't send off the files like weeks later after you've edited them
Yeah.
and that. But yeah, I just tried to finish editing and chopping the photos that I shot in the day. So yeah, I guess you're kind of surfing from 6:30 a.m. till maybe 5:36. And yeah, smash some dinner and then jump on the computer and edit into the night. So yeah, a bit busy days, long days, but I love the routine. You know, I'm a big routine guy, and
cool.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
And did you get any time to kind of shoot for yourself, for your own portfolio, or did it kind of just sort of work together? Like while you're shooting, you can kind of get some stuff for yourself as well.
Yeah, it kind of just works side by side. Yeah, just with the conditions when the conditions are beautiful and amazing and like what your pictures meant to us to be. There's always that trade off between I want to surf. But like when it's that perfect and that incredible, I just try and shoot it, and they're the shots that you can hopefully try and make a bit of a name for yourself. So
yeah, definitely.
That was my plan going over, and
yeah,
I hope to continue that. Yeah, I'm back next year. So.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So it's something you do again?
Yeah, I'm heading back in March.
Awesome.
For another few months. So
yep.
Hopefully just keep building up the portfolio and just keep surfing good waves and having fun and learning the language. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, man, that's unreal. That's unreal. So you mentioned before when you started out that your kind of style was maybe shaped a little bit by some photographers that you liked before you developed your own. So can you let us know some people who inspired you?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably for a lot of photographers, Morgan Marston is like the god. Yeah, I think his stuff early was like, he just looks at things differently. I think he just has made it cool to be unique and see what you see.
Yeah.
So that's the inspiration behind him. He just takes photos of different things, and I love that.
Yeah.
Obviously Rambo.
Yep.
Yeah, his eye's amazing. John Barton or Johnny Jungle.
Yeah.
He's another guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's incredible. Yeah. So probably those three guys.
Have you met him over there at all, or just followed his work?
I haven't. No, he's one of the other photographers that works at Pit Stop Hill, where I was working. But we didn't overlap at all this year. We just sort of crossed over. But he's been doing it for a long time, and he's amazing. So yeah, really inspiring.
Have you followed much John Respondek work?
Yeah.
Because what's that?
No, you go.
No, I was just going to say, because I find like with your photography, the ones when it's actually like just more close-ups of the surfers, it reminds me a lot of that, which which is a massive compliment because he's probably my favorite photographer of like actual surfers. But just in that, I guess like I said before, like the tones and maybe the blacks in it, and just the crispness of the photos, like
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. It's actually funny. I alluded before when I said that last year I was in this thing about shooting tight, and that was like pretty much completely John Respondek inspired.
There you go.
I bought he did those books like Craig, Dion, Chipper, and I think Harry is the other one. Yeah, I bought those books, and I was
I've got the got the Craig ones just here. Yeah.
They're wicked. Yeah, I think I bought them early last year, and I was just flicking through, and I was like, I'm shooting tight from now on. He's amazing. Yeah,
that's unreal.
I love to meet him.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of it's just reminded me of a question I wanted to ask you earlier, but like when I was talking about how you pick your images, are you kind of pretty strict? Like, are you sort of super selective? So if you like, because of that, how I said before, you kind of humbly mentioned like the camera can make the photos sharp, which is fine, but because those photos are so crisp, are you like quite critical of your selections?
I'm very critical of myself. I think most photographers probably are. I think earlier or last year before, I was like too critical, and I was probably casting away a lot of photos that I shouldn't have. I think my mindset's kind of changed a little bit, probably more so in the last couple of weeks or months. I think like there's this whole big thing about like quality over quantity. I think my mindset's like kind of changed there. I think the quality comes from quantity more so
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more open. Like what I might not find as an A++ or 100% perfect photo,
Yeah.
someone else will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my mindset's changing there. I hope for the better, but
Yeah.
I want to start posting more things on Instagram, and
Hmm.
I'm trying to update my website at the moment, and I want to tell more stories about my experiences and adventures. So
Yeah.
we're going to try and lead. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. No, that's really interesting. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you can kind of get a bit too critical, but sometimes it's good to just put it out there and sort of see the response. And
Yeah.
yeah, also, I guess like with that storytelling, I found that a bit as well. Like sometimes you might have like photos from a session and you're just like, oh, this other one kind of tells the story a bit, but it's not the key photo. And so then you end up like not showing it anywhere and then it's just sitting on a hard drive and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've made the mistake of leaving photos sit on hard drives for too long. I've lost 2 hard drives in the last
Oh,
12 months.
no. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I'm not going to let them sit on hard drives
Yep.
anymore. I'm just going to post.
Get them out there somewhere.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably the beauty of like Instagram and having a website and whatever you do. Like the photo's there forever now.
Yes.
Like,
Yep, for
yeah,
sure.
if you lose a hard drive or if you lose a computer, you can always go back and look at them.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've started storing all of my print files in the cloud as well, just so if anything ever happens,
I'll start to
at
do
least
that
the
as
ones I
well. Yeah.
print I can access. Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
No, I've done exactly the same. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a big learning lesson. There's been a
yeah,
lot of learning lessons, but that was a big one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there any other like ocean photographers that we may not know about that kind of either from down your way or just like in your world that you follow that maybe aren't as known as the ones we've spoken about?
Probably a guy that, well, the guy that actually inspired me to apply and go for a job in the Mental Wise is Mark Llewellyn. He's from up on the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Um,
Yep.
Goes by MVL on Instagram. He's not as, like, his followers don't say that he's as known as what he should be. He's incredible. And
Yep.
yeah, he's a photographer at Pitstop Hill as well. And
Cool.
I remember seeing one of my friends went as a guest, came home and showed me the package that he got from Mark.
Mm.
And that, seeing that package, flicking through that slideshow was what made me go, yeah, that's what I'm gonna, that's my goal from now on.
Yeah.
I want to get, so seeing that package by Mark and seeing the work that he's producing now, like, I think, yeah, he's got a long career ahead of him. So it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Yeah, I'll look him up for sure. Cool. Okay, so if before you went back to Indonesia next time, I could give you a plane ticket to go to 3 other waves in the world, what would be your top 3?
Waves. Oh God, I'd love to go back to Pipeline. I was
Yep.
there a few years ago for the Pipe Masters.
Mhm.
The whole place is incredible. That whole stretch of beach. It's gnarly. Like there's a lot happening, and there's a lot of people around. But
Yep.
just the energy around that place, the excitement you get in the morning when you wake up.
Mhm.
Probably love to go back to the North Shore.
Did you get good conditions
Tahiti.
for that event?
Yeah, that was sick. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
final-
Me and my wife went one year and there was like 6 lay days in a row. So
Oh, really? Oh, that's the first night. Have you seen that the new John film, Gravity?
yeah.
Yeah, the last scene where it's like his cinematography is the best in
Yeah,
the world.
nuts.
But,
Yeah. Yeah.
but where it's like all the people in the foreground at Pipe and the sun setting and it's like slow motion. Our first night there was exactly like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was special. And then 2 days later or 3 days later, they had a huge swell. They actually ran the Jaws comp.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at North Shore, so Waimea Bay was like
Was
huge.
big,
So that
yeah.
was sick. And
Yeah.
yeah, the finals day at Pipe was amazing, and Kelly won the Triple Crown, and Ferrero won.
Oh, that was that year. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Yeah, sorry,
obviously-
that was number 1. I cut you off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Number 2, probably Tahiti. I'd
Yep.
like to go to February. Yeah,
Mhm.
that way looks insane, and just the
Yeah.
mountains and everything there.
Yeah.
Number 3 would be like the whole J Bay, South Africa, but that whole coastline. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to do that properly. Take a good few months and road trip that whole coastline.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's some pretty amazing waves in that area, and just the culture, and obviously the wildlife and everything there looks incredible.
Yeah, 100%. That's moving up quickly on my list as well. I met a mate over in like Indo this year when we were over there. There's a South African guy that I became friends with, and he just started showing me like photos of like the area over there and just the whole place, the scenery around Johannesburg, like all that area just like looks just epic. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah, that's unreal. Cool. And do you have any sort of? I mean, I guess you've got the. So you're going back to the resort next year. Do you have any other plans, photography wise, in the next 12 months that you, I guess, try any goals that you're trying to achieve, or is this sort of
Yeah.
the path?
No, just get back to the Mentawais next year
Mhm.
and see how that goes. I would love to like try and get out there a bit more and um yeah, try and just be a bit more like consistent on the social media stuff and
Yep.
yeah, hopefully just yeah, pick up some good jobs. I want to keep traveling, so
Yep.
it would be awesome to shoot a couple comps this year, like with the
Mm,
WSL or anything really,
mm.
and just be around like you know those sort of that sort of industry and meeting those sort of people that I look up to. So that's probably the goal.
Yep.
Yeah, keep traveling and keep taking photos. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you get any like commercial work while you're in Indo, or are you just like too busy? Because was that Kelly shoot in Indonesia?
Nah,
Was
the
that here?
Cali shoot was actually down here at Bells Beach.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It was just like yeah, random that maybe like 2 weeks I'd been in the Mentawais for, and he was there for that Kandui swell.
Yeah.
I actually that's a funny story. We went there. I had a couple of guests that we took there, and Kandui was like incredible. Would have seen all the photos and videos from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember there was this one guy who was like the only person going the double ups, like on the inside and no hands, backhand, all that. And I remember saying my brother was actually a guest at the time. Said like,
Mhm.
who this guy I reckon he is going no hands backhand at like
Yeah.
12, 15-foot Kandui, and we're like, yeah, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was shooting it, whatever. And then we got back to the resort, and the other guests who didn't come were like, oh, who was surfing? Who was out there? And I was like, oh, there was like some Groms and some ex-pros and a couple of old guys you wouldn't really look at twice if you walk past in the street.
Yeah.
And I was referring to that bald guy that was like going
Yeah.
late in that.
Yeah.
I put my SD card into the laptop and I like pulled up the frames and I was like, oh my God, that old guy is actually Kelly Slater. I just didn't even recognize him at the time. I don't know how.
That's hilarious.
Pretty embarrassing story.
No, it's funny,
Yeah,
man.
it was
That's
kind of
classic.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now in terms of the commercial work out there, it's pretty busy at the camp.
Yep. Yep.
I was lucky enough to shoot the Padang Cup just this year gone.
Oh yeah, Oh, you were shooting that way. Yeah, I was on the beach or up on one of the
no way.
rocks. Yeah, I was on the rocks like shooting it. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I was just so happened to be in the area at the time, and yeah, got the call up for that. That was amazing. That was a cool
Yeah.
day, and
Yeah, that
nice to be-
finals day, that was insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. Yeah, really good waves, and
Yeah.
seeing Aaron Brooks like charging,
Mm.
made the final, nearly won. Like
Yeah.
pretty inspiring, So
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. I'd love to do a bit more of that sort of stuff. Yeah, around the world.
Yeah. For sure. That's awesome. Cool, man. Thanks so much for this. So I guess just to finish up, if anyone's watching, they've got a camera, they either want to get into ocean photography or might even want to get into, trying to even make some money with their camera. Have you got any advice for someone just starting out?
Yeah, well, kind of what I said before. I'm still learning myself, but
Mhm.
yeah, your quality will come from your quantity. So
Mm-hmm.
my biggest thing when I first started, and even now, is I try and take my camera everywhere I go. Yeah, it lets you be present in the moment, shoot wide, edit tight, and just put it out there. Yeah,
Yep.
just put the photos out there that resonate with you, and let the other people come to you. Be yourself and
Yeah.
have fun with it. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. Just fun. Yeah.
100%, man. Yeah, that's great advice. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. It's been really cool to chat to you. Where do you want people to go to find out a bit more about you? What's your website and your social media and everything?
Yeah, website's just tommywilliamsphoto.com,
Mhm.
and then the Instagram's tommywilliams.photography. So,
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
yeah, come say
I'll
hey.
link it all in. And yeah, unreal, man. Thanks so much. Great to chat.
Cheers, Scott.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.